Hello everybody, Skax here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be looking at a preview of the match week 23 in the Barclays Premier League. It's probably going to be a series going on forward with the channel, talking about the Premier League, talking about the Champions League, talking about the cups and games like that. Because if you guys didn't know, I am an Arsenal fan. I know, what do I let myself in for? It's just an endless series of disappointments of Arsenal at the moment. We're letting most of our players go for next to nothing in terms of money, and the players we're going to try and buy are very, very expensive. So I'll leave it at that. That's a separate rant for another video. Let's get into it. Let's look at the fixtures this weekend. Starting off today, Saturday 30th of January. Then we've got two games tomorrow. Arsenal is one of them. And then we have one game on Monday. So let's get into Saturday's games first. First of all is Chelsea versus Leicester. Now, it's going to be a tough one to predict most of these games because some teams are now playing reverse of how they were playing earlier on in the season. They're playing a lot better than they once were. But let's start with Chelsea-Leicester. So I do think Leicester should pose Chelsea a few problems in this game, but I do think Chelsea will be too strong for them. I mean, Courtois at the moment, especially when I saw him in the Premier League against Arsenal, and the last few games he's just been an absolute monster in the goal. He rarely ever makes a mistake, so I do find Chelsea very, very hard to beat at the moment, and I do think they're going to continue on with that run, and I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for Chelsea. I think it would be a tough game for Leicester to get anything out of. I know they are playing quite well. I know they got quite a few good-ish signings already, but I don't know. I think Chelsea will prove too strong for them. So 2-0 is my prediction there. Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Now, Burnley away from home are quite solid, even more so at home. But Crystal Palace, I don't know. I think this one could be a draw. I mean, Crystal Palace don't really have the striking power yet. I know they're trying to bring in a few players, but I don't think they have the strike force yet to cause too many problems to Burnley. And then Burnley, if anyone's going to win it, I think it'd be Burnley. But I'm going with a 0-0. I'm going with a 0-0. There may be a goal in the game. If there is a goal, I think it'd be 1-0 away win for Burnley. But it'll be a tight game. Both teams won't want to give anything away, pretty much just defence all game. That'll probably be order of the day there. So Huddersfield versus West Ham is the next one. I don't know about this one because Huddersfield did play okay in their last game, and West Ham are picking up a bit of steam with Moyes. So again, I think it'll be a tough one to call, but I think West Ham will just edge that one. Maybe a 2-1 to West Ham. Arnautovic with a couple goals maybe. Not quite sure there. I do think that'll be a tight one. Newcastle versus Swansea. Now, that could go either way. I mean, Newcastle aren't playing particularly well. Neither are Swansea. I mean, Swansea are bottom, but Swansea really, really do need to win next. They've got a hard few games coming up against some top teams. So I think Swansea will give it their all in that game. I do really like them as a team, but Newcastle, I think, will have too much. I think that'll be a Newcastle 1-0 win. Perez maybe grabbing a goal. Right, moving on to the next one, we have Watford against Southampton. I think, again, it'll be another really tight game. Southampton not playing particularly well lately. Neither are Watford. So I think it'll be a very low-scoring game. But I do think Watford will edge it 2-1. Moving on into West Brom against Brighton. Again, very, very difficult game to call. Brighton not playing particularly well. Neither are West Brom. But I do think West Brom maybe will be the more likely to win out of the teams. But I am going with a 1-1 draw. I don't think we're going to see much action in that one. That could even be a 0-0. Tottenham against Everton, the late kickoff, 5:30. It's going to be, another tough one to call. Everton will go away and just sit. That is Allardyce's way at the moment, it seems. But Tottenham, I do think, will have too much firepower. I think that'll be a 3-0. I think that'll be a game where Everton go 1-0 down. They'll try and come out to get back in the game, and then Tottenham will just punish them. Harry Kane with a couple goals and maybe a Son goal here and there. Moving on into Sunday's games, we have the first early kickoff, 1:30, Bournemouth versus Arsenal. I don't want to even predict this, guys. Being an Arsenal fan, I don't really know what to expect from every single game you go into. There's no given that Arsenal are ever going to win a game. I mean, you look at some games and you think Tottenham against Burnley, or maybe Man City against Stoke. You think 4-5-0, right? Each game. Arsenal could be playing Burton and you'd still think, could Burton turn them over? Again, as I said, that's a video on a very, very separate day. A long rant video about Arsenal. That's a very separate video, so I won't get into that. But prediction for that one, 2-2. 2-2. I'm not predicting an Arsenal win, because then I'll be happy if they do win. So 2-2. I think Bournemouth will actually give it their all in that one. Liverpool, Manchester City, which is the game of the weekend, 4 o'clock on Sunday. That, I wish I could predict 4-4. I really do. I think it's going to be all-out attack. It's going to be all-out war in that one. I don't know who's going to win. I do think it'll be a draw, and I am saying 2-2. Again, I'm saying 2-2. I don't think one team's going to pull away. Both teams are really going to give it their all. If, say, one team gets a 2-0 lead, I think it'll be a thrashing, like 4-5-0. But my prediction is 2-2. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. Cannot wait to see it. Yeah, it should be one of the games of the season, I think. I can't anticipate either team sitting back and defending. So it really should be a fun, entertaining game there. So yeah, my prediction for Manchester United Stoke, 1-0, Jesse Lingard with a 90th minute winner. I don't really see anything but that. I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Skax. You guys have been awesome. And hopefully some of these predictions do come true.